Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in our last tutorial, we had a high level look at what is identity and access management, what is the principle of list privileges, and how we can define a IAM rule, basically like who can do what on which resource, three W's, which will make you understand that who as in which account, your GCP account, what as in what kind of things a particular account is permission to do on which kind of resources, the read and write example that we have already talked about. Now let's try to understand how to actually do these particular things by assigning the roles, and let's talk more about the roles in GCP. So in total, GCP gives you three types of role, right? One is primitive, then second is predefined roles, and third one is custom roles. Now under primitive roles, there are there are three types of primitive role. One is you are the owner. Second is you have the editor access. You are not a auditor owner, but you have a permission to edit the resources, change the configurations, maybe do some expansions, scalability, and whatnot. And then third is the viewer role or viewer primitive role, where you have only read only kind of access that are being given. So we'll take a look of these things in detail in actually by logging into the GCP console. But generally, what even GCP recommends is it is not a good idea to give directly all primitive rules to a particular user. And here we refer to the principle of least privileges, basically. Yet if you can see this is the principle of least privileges, and this particular principle or this particular standard doesn't advise to assign any direct primitive role to a particular account. What it recommends is, as we have already discussed, follow the principle of least privileges, where you just give those many permissions to a particular user which are needed to perform their authorized activity, basically. And this is where some kind of predefined roles are coming into the picture, where what Google has done is Google has created many predefined roles, and they have some default permissions that are already added as a part of this predefined role, right? And this is where these particular things are coming from. Okay, so let's try to see what kind of rules we are talking about. So this is the GCP console, and currently we are at the GCP dev project. So if you go to this product list and click on IAM and admin, and here you will see a tab as roles. So if you click here, then it will give you the all the list of predefined roles. So when we say predefined roles, which is this point, so these are nothing but the list of available predefined roles within your GCP project. And let's try to take a look at some of the roles. Now since we are aware about cloud storage, and if I search for it, then you will see this cloud storage. So all the roles or the predefined roles related to the cloud storage are being listed. And as you can see, based on various permissions that are available within GCP, like there are almost 12 numbers. Like as on today, I'm recording this particular video, there are 12 different roles that are available for a cloud storage product that GCP offers. And at a high level, like if you see this first one, storage admin, so the all the permission, and if you can see these, this is the list. which is the actual permissions. So there are, what it says is, there are 42 assigned permissions to this cloud storage or storage admin role, and this is the ID for this particular role slash storage admin, right? And once any user gets this particular once this storage admin role is approved for a user, then they are authorized to do all these 42 activities, or whatever things come under the control of these 42 permissions. Like this particular user is allowed to do these things on the cloud storage resources. So that is the meaning of the three W's that we have taken a look into, right? Who is the user for which we are basically giving this permission? What answers this roles permissions that are present here? Like he, in this role, storage admin role, there are 42 permissions that are already allowed for that user. So it answers what, right? And on which resource? This, whatever this role is, it is corresponding to the cloud storage product, right? So it answers which resource part of the question, that all these permissions are allowed for a cloud storage product, right? So this is what the meaning of. So here the role is storage admin, and these are the permissions, right, which are predefined. Like we have not created this particular role, we have not mapped these 42 permissions to this storage admin role, but this has already been done at a GCP level, and they have, and that's why we are calling it as predefined roles, right? The storage admin role is a predefined role with 42 assigned permissions. That's a simple thing we can remember about this. It is not possible to change these permissions, because GCP has already defined the scope of the roles and the corresponding permissions. So let's say if you wanted to create your own set of roles, which is the third option, that you can define your own roles as well. Let's say for example, right, let's say, and this is what you want to do. You want a user, particular user, let's say abc at the rate google.com is a GCP account, and you just wanted to give two permissions to this particular thing. One is that particular account should be able to read the data from GCS, and he should only able to read the data from BigQuery table. Only read only permissions to GCS, which is your Google Cloud Storage, and Google BigQuery tables. And there is no role. For example, I'm just giving an example. Let's say there is no role available which will give you only these two permissions. So here, and whatever principle of least privileges say, only give those many permissions which are needed, and I just need these two permission, but there is no role available within the GCP IAM roles which are predefined. So here is the need where you can go ahead and create your own role, and then assign the permissions to that particular role, whichever are being needed. So I hope now you got some idea about what is this primitive roles are, then what are the predefined roles, and how to take a look at these roles, how to read these roles basically, and even we discussed about the custom roles as well. I'll just quickly show you how the primitive roles also looks like. Right. So in this, if we just search for roles owner, then this first primitive role that we have discussed here, which is the owner, will come. And if you click this, for a owner, as on today there are 9082 assigned permissions. So you can do lots of things if you are a owner of a particular organization or a particular GCP account, than assigning the storage.admin admin. Because if you remember, there were 41 assigned permissions for the storage admin role, but if you are a owner, then there are 9082 assigned permissions or you are allowed to do these many activities because you are owner of that particular project or account. Then we have editor. So if you go to editor and click here, then let's see. So there are 7,957 assigned permission. So little less as compared to owner, but still it is huge. Like as an editor, you can do many things. And similarly, for viewer, it should list down like again because you just have viewer access, right? You just can able to read the things from the GCP resources, right? But still it gives you 3,964 assigned permissions, and these are those permissions which you are allowed to do if you have a viewer access. So in this video we covered the primitive roles, predefined roles. I showed you the predefined role as storage admin. In our next video we'll talk about the custom roles. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.